Hello fighters. You're on the World of MMA channel. Recently, former UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman said he wants to fight Chechen fighter Khamzat Chimaev, and the fighters have verbally agreed to fight. After that, today Khamzat Chimaev posted a post in his Twitter where he hints that their fight will take place in the middleweight division. Fight has not been officially announced yet, but I think that fight will take place in autumn at UFC 294 tournament in Abu Dhabi, and in today's release we will have a review of their past fights. And also at the end of the video I will give my personal prediction for this fight. Here we go. Khamzat Chimaev is currently the best trish talker since Conor McGregor. He throws his challenges left and right regardless of his weight class. He is on par with Shavkat Rakhmonov for best prospect with 12 wins. He made his UFC debut in July of 2020 where he won by submission, and only 10 days later came out against Rhys McKee and was able to score him early in the first round. That's how he set the UFC record with 2 wins in just 10 days. And a month later Khamzat was given Gerald Meerschaert as his opponent. The experienced American had 45 fights under his belt. But in his fight against Chimaev he lasted only 17 seconds and missed one punch which knocked him out. A year later, after quite a long downtime for Khamzat, he is finally given a top contender. The grounded knockout artist from China, Li Jingliang. In this fight, Chimaev was able to take the Chinese with ease and choke him out already in the first round of the fight. After this fight, Khamzat receives an experienced Brazilian number 2 Gilbert Burns, which was a real test for the Chechen fighter. Khamzat wins it by decision, and last September Khamzat is given a fight against UFC legend Nate Diaz. But after a failed weigh-in from Khamzat, Diaz refuses to come out against Chimaev and is replaced by American puncher Kevin Holland, who has rather poor wrestling technique. In this fight, Khamzat immediately transfers Kevin to the canvas and uses a choke hold, thus winning his 12th victory. Kamaru Usman, nicknamed the Nigerian Nightmare, is a 35-year-old fighter from Nigeria. He is a former UFC welterweight champion. He had an amazing streak with 19 straight wins and as many as 5 title defenses. He made his UFC debut. Next, he has a title defense against Colby Covington of the United States. This fight turned out to be quite a close one. Well, in the final stretch, Usman hits a clean punch to Colby's jaw and wins the fight by TKO. After this fight Usman goes up against BMF belt holder Jorge Masvidal, who he wins by unanimous decision of the judges. Next up for the champ is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Gilbert Burns. Gilbert was able to knock down Usman early in the fight, but in the third round he goes down himself and was successfully finished. Thus Kamaru makes his third title defense. The second round knockout is a crazy fight against Masvidal, and this one is one of the best knockouts of the year. A magnificent victory, which brings his 19th career victory. In November 2021, there was a rematch with Colby that went all 5 rounds. The fight turned out to be pretty close, but Usman takes the win by unanimous decision and a rematch against Leon Edwards last August. Leon was on a streak of 9 straight wins and was determined to get revenge on his former abuser. This fight was pretty competitive, but a left high kick in the 5th round sends the better fighter to bed regardless of weight class. It was this finish that was later recognized as the best knockout of last year, and thus Usman loses his status as champion and best pound-for-pound fighter. In March of this year, the fighters have a trilogy in which Edwards wins by unanimous decision of the judges. Leon defends his welterweight title and Kamaru loses his second fight in a row. Let's move on to a breakdown of this fight. The fighters are about equal in striking technique. Both are basic fighters who have mastered their striking technique quite well. They both have good knockout power. Usman is inferior to Hungry Chechen in wrestling techniques and ground fighting. The Nigerian has a great advantage in experience and cardio, but Khamzat is much taller and bigger than Usman. Friends, I think that in this fight Khamzat Chimaev will win by unanimous decision of the judges in a fairly close fight. That way he can send the veteran into retirement. What do you think, friends? Write your opinions in the comments. See you all later.